My fiancé promised me a dream vacation, but now he wants to take his sister. Am I wrong for feeling hurt? For context, I recently told my 38F, fiancé 30M, that I wanted to fly to Portland to see my favorite band in concert and stay for 2 nights to hang around the city and have some fun, just the two of us like old times. We used to live in Portland before we had our first baby. He didn't have much of a reaction to my little dream trip. He sort of mumbled, mum under his breath. He didn't share in the excitement whatsoever. Then yesterday, whilst driving, he casually said his younger sister, 29F, wanted to take a trip to Portland, sans her kids, and he was so excited and wanted to go with her. My heart sank. It hurt knowing he wanted to go on this trip with his sister and didn't even ask me to join, knowing damn well it's what I have been dreaming of doing. Anytime I express my feelings to him, he says, "Your feelings aren't valid," and somehow turns my reaction into the problem, and I end up apologizing. Mind you, my family is planning a trip to Italy next summer, and he is invited along with our kids, our little family. And I'm exceptionally excited about our destination trip. Anyways, am I overreacting? I'm genuinely curious to understand and self-reflect, so your honest opinions on the matter are welcome.
Next story. Am I wrong for suspecting my wife of cheating after she said infidelity isn't the worst thing in a relationship? I, 41M, have been married for 7 years to my wife, 39F. We are child-free by choice. We have a great, stable marriage without major quarrels and disagreements, full of respect, tenderness, and passion. My wife is a very intelligent, successful woman, and I admire her very much. She has a calm character and she is not in the habit of judging other people. She often mentions how annoyed she is by how easily her young students, she's a university professor, pass moral judgments and call anything they don't like toxic. It also always surprised me that she really has no jealous bone in her body. Untrippy. For example, whenever I texted her that I was going out to lunch with a female colleague from work, she would write me back, "Okay, honey, have fun." She never inquired about where I was when I went out with friends or stuff like that. Of course, I've never cheated on her or did anything that would break her trust. Last week, me and my wife were having drinks with her close friends. The subject of infidelities came up. I think it started when some friend said that her sister just found out that her husband cheated on her. Everyone began to talk about their experiences, opinions, and emotions related to cheating. That's when my wife said that she personally doesn't think cheating is the worst thing a partner could do to her, and that she would be able to forgive infidelity as long as it was a one-time thing and not an affair that dragged on for months, but that she would rather just never find out about it. I disbelieved her at first. I asked what kind of things she considered worse evils than cheating. She said that she doesn't consider infidelity to be evil at all, just a hurtful decision based on a character flaw, and that in general she doesn't consider many things evil. She said that personally it would be harder for her to forgive abuse, humiliation, or lack of support from a partner in a situation where she really needed it. I relate this conversation in detail because it was the cause of everything that happened afterwards. I couldn't understand my wife's perspective, and I thought from the beginning that something like this could only be said by someone who has cheated themselves or was currently cheating and wanted to rid themselves of guilt. I told her that I now find it hard to believe that she is faithful to me. I asked her if she cheated on me, she wouldn't tell me about it either, because she herself would rather not find out. She said the question made no sense, because she would never cheat on me, that she was only talking about her own opinion, and knows that my opinion is different, and that I consider infidelity a deal-breaker. I said I can't believe her. She said that she would never again reveal any of her opinions to me on any serious topic if my reaction is to accuse her. She started crying and immediately went to the bathroom to calm herself down. I wanted to go after her, but her friends stopped me and told me to give her some time to be alone and cry it out. They told me that she is speaking from experience because her previous long-term partner had cheated on her, and she forgave him. They broke up a couple of years later because he wanted children and she didn't. These friends known her for much longer than I do, and they said that as far as they know, she was never unfaithful to me or to anyone else. When my wife came back, I apologized to her and she accepted. The rest of the evening went on as normal. So we returned home and went to bed, but I couldn't fall asleep. All the time I had doubts. I could not stop thinking about what my wife said and about our whole relationship in general. What if the reason she is never jealous is that she herself has been cheating for years, only she doesn't care because she doesn't consider it evil? It's like that thought became stuck in my head and I couldn't get it out. I reached for my wife's phone, it's not password protected, and started looking for potential lovers, scrolling through her messages and emails. I didn't find anything suspicious and was about to give up when my wife woke up. She saw what I was doing and she didn't even say anything. She just looked very sad. She stood up, picked up her laptop, unlocked it, and put it in front of me. She said, "Search it too if you want," or something like that. I immediately apologized, closed the laptop, and put away the phone. I hugged her and I told her that I love her, so we went back to sleep. Since that situation, she is quiet and cold. She talks to me normally, but something feels off. I know what I did was wrong and I apologized for it. But was it really that big of a deal? Wasn't I, at least a little, justified because of what she said? Next story. Am I wrong for leaving my GF during a night out to help my ex? My GF thinks I'm still attached, but it was just an emergency. Me, 24M, and my ex-GF, 24F, broke up a little bit over 2 years ago. 1 year before our breakup, we had petted a dog, Bean. I am no going to lie, we were the kind of crazy pet owners. He was like our kid. Our breakup was mutual, and at the end we were more friends, roommates than a couple. The hardest part was figuring out what to do with Bean. We both wanted to keep him in our lives, so we decided in an arrangement to please both of us. She has the bigger garden and she often works at home, so she has him most of the time. I often go on hikes on the weekend, and she has to travel for work once a month, so I have him at least a week each month and on the weekends. I have the code to the gate of her garden, so when it's my turn I just go and get him. Her brother is one of my closest friends and I hike with him, so during the weekend he is the one getting him. If we talk, it's mostly to give small update about our families. We know each other since we were 15. And the dog. I know this arrangement is unusual, but Bean is our dog, and right now both of us can't imagine not having him in our life. 6 months ago I met Anna, 25F. She is now my GF. She never complained or said anything about how things work with Bean. This Monday Anna came to mine. It was just a casual evening night together. Around 10 my ex called me in tears. A neighbor came in the afternoon to deliver something, and she forgot to close the gate. When my ex came back, Bean was missing. She told me that her and her BF looked around, but couldn't find him and they were going to call more people to search for him. I told her that I was coming. I asked Anna if she wanted to come, but she refused. When I arrived at my ex's place, a few people were here to help. Her beef, her brother, the neighbor and her family, and some of our friends. Anyway, it took us over 1H, but we finally found him. He was fine. We took him home. I gave him a lot of hugs, said bye, and left. I came home and Anna was already in bed. When I tried to talk to her, she told me that she was tired and didn't want to talk. The next day she was cold and barely talked to me, but after work she called me to talk and kind of exploded on the phone. She said that I left her to go with my ex and that she was hurt, that I chose to spend the night with my ex and our friends rather than with her. I tried to explain that I only went because of Bean, but she refused to listen to me. According to her, there were enough people to find Bean and my ex didn't need my help, which is true, but he is still my dog and it's my job to be here for him. Even our friends came to help. I want to add, this is the only time that something like that happened since we broke up. Honestly, I don't know what to think. In my mind, I did the right thing, but Anna said that I neglected her. So my friends don't get along well with her, so if I ask them, they will be biased.